Hello guys, I'm here from Not Toys Action Figures bringing you another Power Rangers action figure review. And yes, we have something a little bit special today. We have the S.H.Figuarts Dekagreen Ranger, the Special Police Department, or S.P.D as it's also known. And yeah, you can see up here, I got this figure actually when I was in Japan back in like 2023, I think it was, for the very low price of 2,400 yen, which I think, at least in today's sort of conversion rates, it converts to about 13 euros or something like that for this figure. Yeah, you can kind of see it's in a nice plastic wrapper, but you can see the box is pretty beaten up. Like, it's quite an old figure. I think it's from like the early 2010s. Obviously, everything on the back is in Japanese, but I was looking for the the kind of the licensing date or the trademark date. It doesn't quite say. Oh, there, look, there, 2012. So yeah, it's quite an old figure. Been 14 years old this year. But the figure itself, as you can see, peeking through the box there, it looks good. It comes with all of its accessories. So I want to get it out and have a look at it. So let's do that. Damn it. Okay, so here is the green S.P.D Ranger in one of its back of the box poses, or one of his back of the box poses. And yeah, it's very cool opening up these old S.H.Figuarts figures. They just feel very timeless. Like, I think that's the thing. Sometimes S.H.Figuarts gets a little bit criticized for how clean everything looks. You know, like, they don't really dirty anything up, and the paint apps always look very, very kind of perfect in a way. But for these kind of Power Ranger figures, or these what they called toku, what are they called in Japanese? I forgot their names. I can't remember what they're called. But yeah, like the Toku Rangers or whatever they're called in Japanese. I always forget what they're called. Please let me know in the comments. Yeah, for these designs, obviously it looks great that it's so clean, and again, it just makes them ageless, even 12 years on. Yeah, the articulation, which we'll have a quick look at later, maybe doesn't feel that sort of intuitive anymore. You'll see there under the armpit, there's quite a few gaps and stuff like that, and the legs, I kind of hid it through this pose here. But there's a lot of gappiness there under the legs too, but still, the figure itself looks absolutely fantastic. And yeah, to say it's almost 14 years old, like, the accessories look great, the little bits there, the clips on his belt. It's a very nice looking figure. So let's put him in another pose. So here we have the Dekagreen Ranger in another one of the back of the box poses, with his kind of sword extended, arm up in the air, very Power Ranger looking. And yeah, again, it's a little bit of a faff getting him into these positions, just because of how sort of robotic his articulation looks, and trying to move over some of these sort of covers to hide that there on, again, on the arms and the shoulders, I should say, and the legs, especially the hips. The hips are very, very sort of like toyish in like an old-fashioned way. But it's also kind of interesting. I reviewed recently the Super Vegeta S.H.Figuarts figure, and that figure also kind of still has a lot of that too, especially around the hips area. A lot of this kind of like having to move plates and joints in different directions to cover up weird gaps that appear. And I think S.H.Figuarts, they have improved that on some of their other figures, but obviously these ones are very old. But yeah, what I really like is, and we'll get into that again a bit more when I go through the accessories, I love that they have like a sheathed version of the blaster there, and also there is a sheathed version of the sword. Sorry, I don't know if you saw that on the last pose, but it's kind of cool that they incorporate that. And yeah, just a lot of the detail on the suit itself. So let's go through his articulation and look at some of his detail. Okay, then let's have a look at the S.P.D/Dekagreen's articulation. And if you've seen any of my other S.H.Figuarts videos about the kind of Power Rangers or Deku Rangers, the articulation is more or less the same, so I'm not going to go through it too much. But he does, he can look to the side, he has a swivel, looking forward, he can kind of look down that far, he can look up that far, which is quite nice. The neck, he doesn't really have any tilt, the tilt is very, very limited. The shoulders, they are this kind of, like I said, we've seen it with all of the Rangers so far that I've reviewed. it kind of can go around. It's on like a ball joint that goes around, but you do have to be very careful of this cap here. Let me just see if I can get a bit more light. Yeah, this cap here that you also have to sort of rotate with the figure. So if you rotate it out of the way, it means that the arms can get quite close together, even though there is no butterfly joint. So I mean, there it looks like he's about to go swimming. But yeah, you know, if you want to have his holding his sword double-handed, I don't think that would be a problem. And it does go all the way around. But again, you really have to be careful with where this cap is, because it does show off a lot of the joint there. And as you can see, if you look in there, hopefully my light's in the right position, there is, like, you can see them little metal rivets there of the joint. And that's why I always think these older figures, they feel very kind of toyish. You know, seeing these, it kind of just looks like or it always feels to me like it's just like a skeleton of joints with like pieces just like stuck onto it that you can then obviously kind of move around. But yeah, it's that's just kind of S.H.Figuarts. Like, again, it's sort of very clean, very sort of plasticky, but that aesthetic works for these ranges and for a lot of their other figures, and I tend to like it. So it does have like a double jointed elbow, but the elbow only goes up there like just past 90. You can't actually get it to go up any further. There is some bicep curl, or there is some twist on the entire arm, just because it's also on this ball joint here, and then the hand is also on a ball joint, which can kind of get it to turn, and it can kind of rock in and out. So if you want it for a pistol wielding hand, it will rock in and out, but also if you turn it this way, it sort of rocks backwards and forwards as well if you need that. There is kind of like a ball joint here on the upper torso, but it is very, very tight. Like, there is a little bit of movement, but I don't want to push it too much because I don't want to break anything. The waist, there is a little bit of twist at the waist. I think the belt is kind of hindering the twist a little bit. I think it would twist more. There we go. If we move the belt, so there is some twist there that you can see. You just have to push the belt down a little bit. Then we get down to the hips, and you can see the hips. Yeah, it's this era of S.H.Figuarts. They're a little bit of a mess. The legs are very, very loose. I don't know if it's just because the figure is old or because of this articulation, but you can see there's a peg there with a ball on it that goes out into the thigh. It means that there is a lot of movement up. Like, you can get the leg up quite high, which is nice for the silhouette. You know, it doesn't break up the silhouette too much, or you can get it down really low, which means you can probably get the kicks out quite well. But for the silhouette, that looks really bad. So it would have to be some kind of kick, otherwise it would just look terrible. But you can also just move that back up and pop it in. But yeah, like getting the legs, this leg is okay, but this one is very, very loose. But yeah, I guess that's just an old figure, or it might just be that I just need to pop it in somehow, and to kind of get it to stick back in place properly. The legs, it's also kind of cool seeing that these figures, they're so old, but they've always never, it's never pinned joints. They always have pinless. But yeah, the legs don't go all the way back so that he can kick his bum. There is no boot swivel, and then yeah, the foot is also sort of on a ball joint with a rocker there, so the foot rocks backwards and forwards nicely, goes up about this far, gets hits onto the bottom of the boot and goes back that far, which is really nice. And it also has a toe joint. And yeah, just looking over the character himself, over the details, like it looks really nice. Like it, especially this era, compared to like the Lightning collection, for example, just so much more detail. Just the paint apps are so much better and cleaner. I don't really know S.P.D at all. Like, I really only bought this figure because I wanted a souvenir from Japan, and I would have obviously preferred to have bought Mighty Morphin or maybe Zeo or whatever, but I could only find S.P.D and also the Samurai ranges that I've reviewed a couple of already. But nevertheless, it's very nice there. There's a little bit of paint come off there somewhere just with the movement, but even like this kind of silver collar down to his number 3 looks awesome. The little badge there has been painted really nicely, stuck on. Also here, the badge, I think it's like a sticker. It's not sculpted, it's just like a sticker, but still done nicely. Here it is sculpted on his hat, or on his helmet I should say. It obviously doesn't say police on it, but you know what it is from looking at it. This side is just all plain black. The S.P.D badge there on the belt. Here these holsters you can take them off and put them back on, so if you really want to get into some wild posing, because they do get in the way, like you can move them back, or you can just remove them entirely if you want to, just to make the posing better. And then yeah, then the rest of the outfit, there's some nice cuffs here, some detail here with the silver and black. Then it just goes down to the green and the black and silver there on the boots. So a nice looking figure, just very clean. Like I said, fits really well to the S.H.Figuarts aesthetic. And yeah, I actually think where this figure shines is in some of his accessories. So let me just get some accessories out. So first up we have I guess it looks like a pen. But yeah, this is the holstered sword, I guess. This part is where it comes out of, but just look at the detail there. It's just really nice. I don't know if I should move him. I think you can see it okay. But there's like little bits of red hits there. There's even like these tiny little lines there on just breaking up the green, which is really nice. And again, because of this here, it just makes me feel like I should be putting this in my like top pocket, and this bit here is like a clicky pen. Maybe that's what it's designed on. Like I said, I don't know anything about SPD, so do let me know. And then we have the extended version, which is obviously there, just the same as before, but we have this extended blade, which is nice. A couple of little details there, and then on the end again, the kind of clicky penness looks the same. Interestingly, I assumed it would extend out of here and not out of the clicky pen part, but yeah, that's how that works. I am going to move them just so the camera isn't getting confused on where to focus. So yeah, that's nice. Then we also have his blaster, so I guess it is a similar sort of mechanism, or I guess this, I don't know, this is supposed to plug into it somehow. Like not actually the figures, but I guess in the show this plugs in, because here it is kind of unsheathed, and here is the sheathed version. And yeah, it looks like the pen is supposed to slide on there. I don't think the pen actually does slide on there, even though there is a groove for it. No, it's too big. But yeah, again here you have this kind of, I keep calling it the pen, it's a sword. But you have the pen there, and then you have this nice detail here on the kind of the, what would you call that, the holster, or I don't know, I don't really know anything about guns, but this part, the part that you hold where the trigger is, it says SPD. It has the hits of red, it has this kind of black and silver hit here with the little shield on, which I'm assuming is supposed to be the shield with the dog sign on it. Underneath looks really nice. So yeah, there's some nice accessories there. Then yeah, it wouldn't be SPD. I mean, this is what I do know about SPD, is they have their morpher that kind of looks like this. Like, it always reminds me of like an early or I was going to say early smartphone, but like kind of like pre-smartphone, that like this like could flip down and there would be buttons on here and they press the buttons to call. But again, this looks really nice. You can clearly see the SPD there. It has the lights on it, giving it that police vibe. Whoops. The back is quite simple, like it's just a plastic with a groove on it. And I think this also has a holster. Yes, I believe this is the holster here that you must slot this into somehow. So that looks nice there, and I'm assuming this is what this hole is there on the back. It is, look, you can see there's like a kind of key-shaped peg hole, and there is also the same shape on the back of here. So let's see if I can get it on. Okay, so I got it on, and then yeah, this then just slides in here, the little morpher. It's not a snug fit. That I think if I was gonna display him on a shelf, I would be very worried that this would fall out, because it is very, yeah, very loose. Oh, it does open. Ah, that's cool. So I was right. Look, it opens up like, well, yeah, like one of these old, like I remember back in the day, I think I had it was a Samsung phone that sort of opened up like this, where this screen was touchscreen, this screen had little buttons on it, and then you had like a stylus that you had to use on the touchscreen. And back in the day, that just felt like mega, like it was like the most modern technology you'd ever heard. Like it was like revolutionary or ever seen. And it's kind of funny how, you know, Power Rangers reflects that like they try to reflect that modern technology in their designs of the suits. And the technology that they actually use, but then now, you know, looking back, it feels very old-fashioned and outdated, which is very funny. But yeah, other than that, he comes with a plethora of hands, as used to be the case, I guess. I don't want to go through them all, but there are some interesting ones that I'm assuming are very relevant. So you just have like kind of loose, you have kind of more open, you have trigger hands, you have grasping hands there, or kind of more, not necessarily grasping, but kind of open like this. Then he has a shooter hand, which is interesting, and then a pointer. I guess that is very specific to the S.P.D Dekagreen, or whatever they're called. which I don't know anything about. But yeah, let's play around with some more of his accessories and get him in another pose. Ooh, so I just had an absolute nightmare getting him into this position. Not because of like moving him around, but because, you know, I just, exactly as I just said, I said, you know, be careful if you put the morpher in his back pocket, because it easily falls out. And more or less as soon as I stopped recording, I knocked him over, the morpher went flying somewhere, and I had to get down on like hands and knees and look for it, and found it behind my desk. It had fallen down there. But the worst part was the flippy down part had also broken off and fallen somewhere. So I was looking for ages for it, and it had actually just fallen under the leg of my desk. So managed to find it, but yeah, you know, the proof is sort of there in the pudding. Be careful if you have one of these little morphers, because they can easily fall off and break apart and get lost. But luckily I managed to find him and put him in this sort of morphing pose here, which I think looks very cool. You can see all of his sort of accessories there, his morpher, the sheathed sword and pistol, and yeah, just a nice looking figure. Again, I don't like that shoulder, but yeah, I probably should have fixed that before recording, but a little bit too late now. So let's put him in another pose, and then I think we'll end the episode. Okay, then for his final pose, I thought, you know what, why not put him in with the other green S.H.Figuarts Rangers I have. So we have Mighty Morphin Green and Samurai Green there, and here is S.P.D Green in the middle with the pointing finger out. Probably not what the pointing finger is meant to be used for, but kind of leading them, almost like if it's like a Forever Green episode. Yeah, it's kind of interesting, like also just looking at the shades of green, just how sort of bluish the greens look, and sort of at least through my phone, how desaturated it looks. Like all three more or less have the similar tone. I don't know if it's just because they're also old, maybe why it looks a little bit washed out, the green on them, like looks more blue than you might see on yeah, some of the newer Lightning Collection figures. But yeah, they do look great together, and again, you can more or less see they all have the same articulation. I think yeah, my S.P.D Green, his legs are a little bit loose. I think I got a bit unlucky there, but I think I did get lucky with the Mighty Morphin Green, because his joints do feel really, really good. So yeah, you know, you win some, you lose some, but they do look fantastic together. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed the episode. Let me know if you've got any of these figures, because I know they're quite rare these days and hard to get, but it would be interesting to know if you've got some. If you do share on the Not Toys Action Figures community tab on YouTube, so now you can post pictures of your toys there, or of your action figures, and share them there with the community, which would be really awesome. I always put my pictures up there to kind of hype up my reviews. But yeah, if you have any of the figures in from the reviews I've done recently and want to share them, then do go ahead and share them there, because I'd love to see them. I always like looking at action figure photos or toy photos, so please do share them there. Also, let me know what you thought of this episode. I've kind of, or at least I'm planning to sort of change it up a little bit of how I put these episodes together, to try to show a few more poses as kind of B-roll, get out in the garden. As I'm saying this, you should be seeing a scene from the garden. It was absolutely freezing out there. It's like kind of like sleety snow here in Vienna at the minute, which is weird because I'm recording this at the end of March. So yeah, so hopefully still the light is a bit better out there than it is in my room, so I'm hoping it looks a bit nicer. And also, yeah, I should have put some music up behind the also like kind of backing tracks to this video. So if you enjoyed the new format, do let me know as well. And yeah, thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed, make sure you like and subscribe for more. We'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.